I might be glazing this video, but let me tell you one thing. The Lego Batman movie might be one of the best movies I've ever watched in my life. I'm not even joking to you. After you watch this movie, you will see how good the Lego movies actually are. The Lego movies don't ever miss. Ninjago, the Lego movie, the Lego Batman movie, the Lego Batman movie 2, the Lego movie Justice League. I can't even tell you how good all these movies are, especially after watching these 3 movies that I watched called Birdemic. That trilogy had to be the worst trilogy I've ever watched in my life. But let me tell you one thing. These movies, they are so good. I'm not even joking you. Whenever I see these movies, I have to watch them. I have to rate them out of 5 stars. I gotta rate them 5 out of 5 stars. I can't even lie to you. I might be glazing, but let me say one thing. I'm not lying. That's all I have to say. Alright, so the movie does a really good job at tackling the relationships of these characters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every single relationship in this movie, every single plot in this movie, everything in this movie, it gets wrapped up very, very nicely. The relationship between Batman and Joker, the relationship between Robin, the relationship between Alfred, the relationship, all of them. Alright, let me tell you one thing. Alfred is the best character in this movie. Not even gonna lie to you, by a long shot. By a long shot. I don't know what they did to him in this movie, but he is so good. Made sure every single piece had a purpose. They did this so well. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. This movie, I can't stop talking about. I can't stop telling you how good this movie is.
If this brother had a few more inches, oh, Lord, don't get me salivating and fantasizing about things.
Alright, so one of the greatest things about this movie is the comedy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. At the beginning of the movie, Joker comes in, he hijacks the plane, and he's like, "I always come in with a smile." And the man's like, "Batman catches you. You're not even a villain for real." He's like, "What?" He's like, "What are all the villains for? What are all the villains?" And Joker goes on the list talking about Catman, something, and all those. He's like, "Are these even real villains?" Yes, if it was for Google. And let me tell you one thing. I like the comedy. And then Batman comes in, and he's coming in as a woman, and they're like, "What?" He's like, "Do you gamble?" "What?" "Always bet in black." Man, he goes from a woman to being Batman. I don't know how Legos do this, but they do it. They talk about Batman, the Batman song, "Cause I'm a billionaire who chokes at a bear who doesn't skip leg day. Batman who doesn't pay their taxes, who pay their taxes, not Batman." I'm trying to tell you, man, this movie is just that great. And then the Commissioner Gordon thing, he doesn't like going to meetings, but you know what he does like about the meetings? The soup party before that. Him and Alfred are doing a soup party. Alfred, I'm trying to tell you, Alfred is one of the best characters. But yeah, they're doing a soup party. The comedy in this movie is just top notch. The comedic parts of Batman are some of the greatest parts. The parts that make him not be as serious as he could be, I like those. So another thing I like in this movie is the relationship between Batman and Joker. So Joker's like, "Admit it, Batman, I am your greatest enemy." And then Batman's like, "No, you're not my greatest enemy. You're nothing to me. You're nothing. You're actually nothing. You're like a little fly. You're a nuisance. You're nothing in my life, alright? Don't ever get in my way. Don't ever say you're my greatest enemy ever again." And Joker's like, "What?" And you can see the little effects on his face, the little portrayal of the feelings on his face. You can see the emotion, and you could tell that this makes Joker want to take over Gotham. And that's exactly what Joker does. He frees the people out the sky. In the movie, the people don't like Batman anymore because Batman doesn't actually get rid of the problems. He only puts them away temporarily. But what I like is that they don't make the characters feel one-dimensional. They make them feel three-dimensional. Like Batman, instead of him just being the hero, he's actually vulnerable. He's working alone because he's scared of actually working with other people. So he tries to work alone all his life. Robin, instead of him just being Batman's sidekick, he's the person that gets kicked away and actually needs a family to actually thrive and actually feel like he can do something. And then Joker, feeling like he's Batman's villain, he's actually longing for some attention. Alright, so this whole part right here is going to be about Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum plays Superman, and let me tell you one thing. Every single time he plays Lego Superman, he does not miss. Every single time he plays a character, he does not miss. Every superhero he plays, he does not miss. Blade, he does not play Blade. What am I talking about? Gambit. Man, if you haven't watched Deadpool and Wolverine, let me tell you one thing. Him in that movie, crazy. 21 Jump Street, that's not a superhero movie, but let me tell you one thing. Did he miss in that movie? No. 22 Jump Street, did he miss in that movie? No. Step Up, did he miss in that movie? No. He didn't miss in any of these movies that I ever watched him play in. Fly Me to the Moon, that wasn't really a good movie, but let me tell you one thing. Channing Tatum was in there. Okay, I didn't even watch the movie for us, so I don't even know if it was a good movie. I'm just saying stuff. But yeah, Channing Tatum, every single time I see his character, every single time I see him in the movie, he is one of the best parts of the movie. He had 5 minutes of screen time. Not even that. He probably had 3 minutes of screen time at best. And this whole segment is dedicated to his character alone. That's crazy. That's how good of an actor he is. Alright, so going off what I said before, they shun him away because he puts away Joker temporarily, but he wants to validate his own self because, his three-dimensional character is him being vulnerable. That's the reason why he's always a lone wolf. That's why he doesn't want to accept people. That's the reason why he works alone. Alfred was like, "You're scared of being alone." He's like, "No, I'm scared of clown sharks, man." He's like, "No, you're not." And him wanting to be a hero makes him want to overachieve, and whenever Joker surrenders, he feels like he didn't actually prove himself to be a hero and having people of Gotham City like him again. So you know what he does? He gets the device that Superman uses and tries to send him Joker to the abyss, which in turn does what happens in the movie. And Batman wanted to prove that he was a hero, led to him make irrational decisions that later makes Joker unfold his evil plan on Gotham. Instead of the movie letting Batman complete this mission all on his own, and they make him have to accept Professor Gordon's daughter, Robin, and Alfred and the Bat family to actually defeat Joker. Instead of, I'm not gonna say defeat, but makes Batman realize that Joker is actually his biggest villain. And I like that part of the movie so much, man. I don't think you understand. This movie has a 7.3 on IMDb, and it should be a 9. It should be even higher. The story, the characters, the relationships between all of them is the reason why this movie is so good. You do not know how much I watched this movie, how good this movie was. I watched this movie start to finish, all the way through. I watched the credits, I watched all that. Let me tell you why. Because the movie is just that good. Lego movies, you cannot tell me that the Lego movies are not the greatest types of movies that I watched. You know what? Alright, so one thing I didn't pick up on real quick was how Robin is treated like an outcast in this movie at the beginning of the movie, and then he gets picked up by Alfred and Batman. And then his character has a 180 turn, and instead of being an outcast, he's actually accepted into a family. So yes, this movie does a really good job of doing that. So Batman gets taken to the abyss, and they're like, who are you? He's like, I'm Batman, I'm a good guy. And they scan him, and they show all the bad things that Batman actually did. We know Batman's a good guy, but his fear of accepting people make him push his whole family away. You see Alfred's face right here? You see Alfred's face? That makes Batman regret what he did. And he's like, I'm gonna be back in a couple of days. And he realizes that he needs the Bat family. He realizes that Alfred was the one constant in his life. He's the one that made Batman become who he is today. And when they stop Joker asks, "Oh, am I your greatest enemy, Batman?" And Batman was like, "Yes, you are my greatest enemy." And that makes Joker feel accepted. It makes him stop his plan on Gotham. Makes him stop what he's gonna do for a little while. And Batman finally feels accepted and has people to help him out. And this really wraps up every single person's character arc. Robin, instead of feeling lonely and stuff, he has a family. Batman, instead of feeling lonely and stuff, he has a family. Alfred is Alfred. You already know. Joker, he feels accepted. And Batman actually feels accepted, has people help him out. Batman actually puts a picture up of Robin that Robin took whenever they were doing like the Bat family thing, right beside the picture of him and his family, and that really shows the growth that he did throughout this whole entire movie. But let me say this: this movie, I will not tell you. This movie is so good that I'm going to watch it right after I get done watching this video, making this video. I do not care. This movie was just that good. The end credit scene, they have one, I'm pretty sure, and that is so good. I'm trying to tell you. This movie was just that good. It was just that good. You do not know. You do not understand what I'm saying. If you haven't watched this movie, let me tell you one thing. Once you watch this movie, you will realize how great this movie actually is, and why this movie does not have higher than it does. You will question that. This movie should actually have a really high rating on IMDb, but it does. But it should be even higher. Trust me. So there is an end credit scene where Robin's like, "Oh, can I play this last song?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Really?" And guess what? Batman lets him do it. That's self-growth. That's growth. That's end. That's the end of the movie. That's the end of the video. That's it. I'm done.